Well, Friday's movie theater shooting in Colorado left 12 people dead and many people wondering about the mental state of the gunman. Most expect James Holmes' counsel to enter a plea of insanity, an option unavailable in Idaho. But tonight, one convicted killer is trying to change that. And Matt King is live in studio with our story.
Yeah, Roland, the insanity plea originated in Great Britain nearly 300 years ago. Idaho allowed it as recently as 40 years ago, but now counts itself among Montana, Utah, and Kansas as states that do without.
We eliminated it because it didn't make sense then, and it doesn't make sense now.
The right to plead insanity in an Idaho court of law vanished, partially thanks to Dave Leroy. He served as the state's attorney general when Idaho chose to abolish the insanity defense in the 1970s.
Jurors who were housewives and farmers were asked to decide between battling psychiatrists who was more correct in their professional opinion. It simply didn't make sense.
The attorneys of convicted killer John Delling might say the same thing about their client's life sentence. It simply didn't make sense. In 2007, Delling murdered two and injured another for, quote, stealing his energy. With no insanity plea, his attorneys say the state forced their client to plead guilty. His counsel since appealed to the Supreme Court on grounds Idaho violated Delling's right to due process.
I would expect it to be upheld again.
See, the Supreme Court's examined the constitutionality of purging the insanity defense before. Idaho's law still boasts constitutional protections, allowing a felon's diagnosed mental illness to stand as evidence.
To label someone because they're mentally ill, they're going to commit some horrific act of violence is a stigma that's mostly put on by society.
Mental health professional Matt Morissette says prognoses do exist where individuals perceive the world differently, and that leads to violent behavior. But those cases are rare, just like the insanity plea. According to a study from 1995, the defense claimed insanity in just 1% of felony cases, with a success rate barely greater than 25%.
They almost never fly.
Famous cases of successful insanity pleas include John Hinckley Jr., who attempted to assassinate President Ronald Reagan, and a Texas mother who killed 3 of her children in 2004 because she thought God told her to do so. Live in studio, Matt King, Fox 9 on your side.